Welcome to The Courage Effect. I'm Suzanne Weller, and this is a show about growth and unleashing what's possible. You will hear inspiring stories about what courage looks like, how we navigate what's getting in our way, and the opportunities that surface when we choose courage over comfort. Let's get started. Welcome to 2025. We're a couple of weeks into the year, and I'm curious as we start it, how would you define courage for yourself in the year ahead? What might courage look like? Where might courage be calling you in your life right now? And how might you answer it? For me, courage is going to be about doing some things differently this year. And today's show, which is a solo show, I am going to not only welcome in the new year with you, but I want to talk about the future of the Courage Effect, since I'm going to be evolving the podcast and taking a little bit of a break. I love this show. It has become something that I knew that it had the possibility of being and even more. As I look at the future, I want it to continue, but I'm looking at potentially moving it to a bit of a different format. I will continue to do some solo shows and some interviews, but it won't be on the standard every other week cadence, as opposed to it just being an episodic podcast. I'm looking to move into seasons, and I'm going to put together a new content strategy. I've already started some ideas around this. I want to make sure that it is giving you what you need as a listener, and that I'm also able to create it in a way that is sustainable for me, and that I'm able to grow and evolve from it as well. So you can expect a bit of a break in the coming months. We will be coming back together in April, that I promise you, but it's going to look a little bit different. As we look to the year ahead, this is part of my larger intention, part of my larger plan for the year. Because when I think about what do I want to do this year, how do I want to weave courage in, it is about creating some change for myself. Even going back and forth on what my word of the year is going to be. Last year, my word was curate, because I really wanted to be more discerning about how I was spending my time and where I was putting my energy and my attention. Now I need to put some changes in place based on what I discovered last year, and I need to take that intention into the next chapter. So my word of this year is going to be emerge. The whole idea of this is for me to figure out what is going to be next. And it's going to require me to take some steps and to actually step into action to make it happen. Evolving the podcast, evolving the Courage Effect is a part of this. I want to potentially rejigger it. I want to see what might be possible. I want to emerge in a different way. And I want the show to do the same. So I'll give you a little bit more about that at the end of the show, but I want to spend a little bit of time now with you thinking about not only how will you step into courage this year, but what is your intention this year? I mean, I did a show last year where it was about courageous intentions. How do we actually bring about intentions that hit our real pain points, that are meaningful, and that we can step into in a way that is more than just something that we say we're going to do. And it's not just something that we want to do, but something that we literally make happen. I am pretty sure that any intention that you pick that has some meat on it, right, that is actually meaningful, is going to weave in some sort of courage. Maybe it's about doing things a little bit differently. Like I said, I'm falling into some patterns. I feel like I've become embedded in some of these systems, or just the processes, the way that I'm doing work. I am looking at, how do I save myself some time? How do I make sure that I am using my time as wisely as possible? And that when I have free time, I can enjoy it to my fullest, and I can enjoy the time with the people that are around me. As you think about the year ahead, what might courage look like for you? How might it play a role? For me, the whole idea of emerging really embodies this. It will be a thread that will run through my year, my thoughts, my behaviors, and something that I don't just want to think about, but something that I really want to step into. I selected this word because I want to look at where I might be feeling a little bit stuck. I fall into these cycles. I know that this is part of what I do. It's been happening to me for a number of years, but every 2 years, I tend to get an itch. I jokingly call it my 2-year itch. I need to shake things up. I need to think about what can I introduce here, or maybe what can I subtract? Maybe it's about just straight up boredom, because that happens, right? You just get bored or you're feeling a little bit stagnant. But maybe there are things that used to light me up that aren't lighting me up so much anymore. But what I do know is that I need something different. And I want to start practicing and playing around with where there's some opportunity to create some shift. I want to evolve my business. I want to do more speaking engagements. My goal is to be on more stages this year. And I'm also upping the stakes with myself by integrating more storytelling. And I've actually entered a storytelling competition that I'm going to be participating in the Northwest chapter of the National Speakers Association on February 15th. I will put a link to it in the show notes if you are in Seattle and interested in joining me. But I'm giving myself the opportunity to meet other speakers, to be coached by them, and to learn. I've been doing storytelling for so many years, but that doesn't mean that I'm a master at it. It means I'm pretty good at it, but I know that there's opportunities to potentially have more impact. That is my goal this year. How can I emerge differently as a speaker, as a coach, as a consultant, as a woman, as a wife, as a friend? I am excited for what the idea of emergence gives me. You can probably even hear it in my voice, despite me getting over a cold for the past couple of weeks. But emerging is giving me some light, and I know it's going to require some courage. Obviously, me stepping on stages and putting myself into these competitions that have rules and constraints. I'm forcing myself to operate in a space that I'm not totally comfortable with. That is scary, but it is good. This is where my courage is coming in. The courage effect will be changing, and I'm being honest with you and telling you I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. I know that we will be here. I know that this creation that I've put so much time and energy and love into, I know that it will still exist. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see what emerges in the months ahead. But I don't want you to get concerned about there not being shows in the coming months. There will be repeats of some of our past shows. We'll be doing some listener favorites. We'll be doing some highlights. We have an amazing archive of shows. We have 66 in our archive, which is pretty fantastic. I am so proud of that. There's a lot of these conversations that I want to revisit. I want to bring back, and I want to shine some lights on. Maybe some nuggets that I didn't get the first time around. And maybe the same is true for you. The show will be continuing with those archival shows being released, and new shows will be returning in April. And I have to say, I am excited for what's going to emerge. I was a little bit nervous to hit the pause button and to do this, but I realized that in order for me to keep creating something that I love, something that brings impact for you and that you enjoy listening to, really working through a new content strategy, spending some quality time on it will make a difference. The mission of the show is to shine a light on the brave things that people are doing in their lives and hopefully encourage you to do new things, to take some leaps yourself. This might be your chance. I am seeing 2025 as a what now year, an opportunity to contemplate what we want and what we need, and then what we need to do to make things happen. You'll hear some of those stories on the show. I really hope that they'll inspire you. And I would love your input on maybe what you want more of, what you want less of, what guests you'd like to be interviewed, or if you have a story to share yourself. Please reach out. We have a contact form on the courageeffect.com website. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm excited for what's new for me, for you, for the Courage Effect. Happy 2025, y'all. This really is a year of what now. So let's step up. Let's tap into courage. It's time to emerge. The Courage Effect is brought to you by Weller Collaboration. If you're looking to enhance your leadership skills or get more comfortable with change, please reach out to us. Our team of coaches, advisors, and consultants would love to help you get out of your comfort zone, operate in a braver brain space, and achieve even more amazing results. More information about Weller Collaboration is available in the show notes. Please spread the word about the Courage Effect. Rate and review on your favorite podcast platform, and we would love for you to share with your colleagues, family, or anyone in your universe who could use a good dose of courage. If you have feedback or would like to apply to be a guest, please reach out to us via our website, thecourageeffect.com. Manny Mathers is our producer. Dave Nelson composed our theme music. Alex Sandyforth is our administrative maven, and I'm your host, Suzanne Weller.